Some of these are about to be gone, not on sale, gone, pulled off the shelf, discontinued, and Costco won't send you a letter to warn you. You find out the way I found out. You walk to the spot where a thing has lived for years, and there's a bare shelf and a little empty tag where it used to be, so I made you a list. 15 things every one of us over 60 ought to grab at Costco right now. And I've split it careful because before they're gone means two different things, and you need to know which is which. Some of these are genuinely disappearing this year, and if you want them, you'd best go this week. The rest aren't vanishing, but they're the buys that save a person on a fixed income the most money, and every year you don't use them is money gone for good. That counts as gone too in my book. Get a pen. I mean it. Go get one, because a couple of these have already changed in 2026, and the people copying old lists haven't caught up. And let me tell you who's talking. Quick, I'm not a reporter. I'm not paid a nickel by Costco or anybody else. I'm one of you, over 60, same fixed income, same arithmetic at the kitchen table when the month runs longer than the money. Every price and every fact here, I checked myself in 2026 because I won't hand you a thing I haven't confirmed with my own two hands. Let's go. Number 1. The hearing aids, and this is the biggest dollar in the whole store. I'm starting here because if you take nothing else from me today, take this. Costco's Hearing Center sells prescription hearing aids from real name brands. Jabra, Rexton, Philips, Sennheiser, for $1,500 to $1,700 a pair. That same technology at a private clinic runs $3,500 to over $8,000. And here's the part that ought to make you sit down. Original Medicare does not cover hearing aids, not a dime. So that $2,000 to $6,000 difference comes straight out of your pocket, or it does everywhere but here. The hearing test is free. They give you free cleanings and follow-ups for the life of them, and you get around 180 days to wear them and bring them back for a full refund if they're not right. A $65 membership against a saving in the thousands is not a close call. If you or the person sitting next to you has been putting off your hearing because of the price, this is the single most important counter in that building. Go. Number 2. The pharmacy, and you don't even need a membership to use it. Here's one most people don't know, and it's the law, not a favor. A warehouse club cannot turn you away from its pharmacy for not being a member. You walk in, you tell the greeter you're headed to the pharmacy, and you go straight to the counter. Why does it matter? Because Costco's prices on generic medicines are among the lowest in the country. Their member prescription program runs discounts up to 80% off retail. A generic maintenance drug that's $40 to $80 a month at the chain drugstore can be under $10 for a 90-day supply here. Now, hear the one habit that saves you the most. Ask the pharmacist to ring it up both ways, your insurance price and the plain cash price, and take whichever's lower. Because on a fixed income, sometimes the cash price beats your own copay, and nobody at that counter will tell you unless you ask. My mother always said the question you're too shy to ask is the one that costs you money. Number 3, the Kirkland sport drink that's vanishing right now. Here's your first genuine hurry. The Kirkland Signature Sport Drink, the electrolyte drink, 24 bottles, cane sugar, clean ingredients, a fraction of what Gatorade costs, has been discontinued. Shoppers confirmed it with warehouse employees. Now there's a whisper it might come back in a different size, but nobody knows, and right now the shelves are bare. For an older person in July heat, and dehydration is no small thing at our age, it lands people in the hospital. This was the honest, cheap way to keep your electrolytes up. If your warehouse still has a case hiding somewhere, that's a grab it now. Don't wait on a maybe. Number 4, the vitamins and supplements 50 to 70% cheaper. This is a quiet one that adds up huge over a year. Kirkland's vitamins, the D3, the B12, the calcium, the magnesium, the fish oil, the exact things a doctor tells us to take at our age, run 50 to 70% below the branded versions. And here's the secret Costco doesn't advertise. Kirkland supplements are very often made by the same manufacturers as the famous brands, just wearing a plainer label. Same pill, same dose, half the price or better. If you take 3 or 4 supplements daily, like a lot of us do, switching to Kirkland saves you well over $100 a year, every year, on things you were buying anyway. That's not a sale. That's a permanent raise. Number 5. The Kirkland Thin Chocolate Chip Cookies, gone and a lesson inside it. Another genuine goodbye, and this one tells you something. Those Kirkland Thin and Crispy Chocolate Chip Cookies, 30 individually wrapped packs, $10, made with a short, clean ingredient list. They're discontinued, and the reason is a lesson worth more than the cookies. The price of cocoa spiked so hard that to keep making them, Costco would have had to charge you nearly $17 a bag, at which point the name brand was cheaper, so they pulled the plug. Now, I'm not telling you cookies are a necessity, but I am telling you to notice why they're gone, because that same cocoa spike is quietly making every chocolate thing in every store more expensive. When a shelf goes empty, it's usually the visible tip of something moving through the whole economy. Read the empty shelf. It's telling you something. Number 6. The batteries, and there's no thinking required. Kirkland AA batteries. Here's the fact that settles it forever. They're made by Duracell. Costco's own people have confirmed it. Same manufacturer, same battery, plainer label, lowest per battery cost you'll find anywhere. This is the one item in the store that needs zero comparison shopping. When the batteries run low, for the remotes, the flashlights, the hearing aid accessories, the smoke detectors, you'd better be keeping fresh. You buy these and you don't think about it again. My father kept a coffee can of batteries in the junk drawer and tested each one on his tongue to see if it still had life. Don't you do that. But the instinct was dead right. Never pay a name brand markup for the identical thing in a fancier wrapper. Number 7. The paper products, the definition of a smart bulk buy. Kirkland paper towels and toilet paper, bought in the big institutional packs, beat the grocery store's per roll price by a wide margin. Costco's non-perishable prices generally run 20 to 40% under the grocery store, and this is exactly what bulk was invented for. You will use every single sheet. It never goes bad, and buying it big means you stop making those little top-up trips to the grocery where you always walk out with $40 of things you didn't come for. Buy it when you're already there. Just check the price per roll, not the sticker on the package. That little unit price number on the shelf tag is the only number that tells the truth. Number 8, the rotisserie chicken, still $4.99. Still 3 dinners. They've held this bird at $4.99 since the 1990s, and they lose money on it on purpose to keep you trusting every other price in the store. Let them. For 2 people who aren't feeding a houseful anymore, that one chicken is 2 or 3 meals. Dinner the first night, the carcass in the soup pot the second, a sandwich the third. Under $1 a serving for real protein in a year when beef is climbing 7%. My mother stretched one bird across 3 days without blinking and would have looked at a $12 deli chicken like it insulted her personally. One tip: Skip the pre-made $6.99 chicken Caesar salad and buy a whole chicken plus a bagged Caesar kit, and you've made yourself 4 salads for about the cost of 1.5 of the pre-made. Just know the food court and the whole bird now scan a membership card, so this one's for members. Number 9. The deli roast beef that's already gone and why it won't be back. Here's another one that's vanished, and it matters as a signal. Kirkland's sliced roast beef has been gone a good while now with no sign of return, and the reason is the same cattle crisis pushing beef up everywhere. Prices are so high, the store can't make the numbers work. So if you've been hunting for it, stop hunting. It's not coming back soon. But take the lesson to your own cart. Beef of every kind is the thing climbing fastest this year. Whatever beef you do buy it when it's marked down and freeze it that same day. The freezer stops the clock on today's price before next month's price arrives. Number 10. The Optical Center, exams and glasses at a fraction. Costco Optical is one of the quietest bargains in all of eyewear. Eye exams run about $79 to $110, and glasses start around $133, well under what an independent eye doctor or the optical chains charge for the very same correction. And like the pharmacy, in most states, the exam is done by an independent optometrist who can often see you whether or not you carry a membership. So call your local optical department and ask 2 things. Do I need a card just for the exam, and when's your next opening? For a couple who each need fresh glasses every year or 2, the gap between Costco and a retail optical shop is real money. Over and over, and they'll adjust your frames free even if you bought them somewhere else. Number 11. The executive membership and the math that makes it free. Let me do this arithmetic with you plain because it confuses people. The basic Gold Star membership is $65 a year. The executive is $130, $65 more, and in return it pays you 2% back on most of what you buy as a certificate each year, so the break-even is simple. Spend about $3,250 a year at Costco, and that 2% covers the extra $65. A 2-person household buying groceries, household goods, and filling prescriptions, there usually clears that without trying. And here's the part that takes all the risk away. If at year's end your 2% didn't cover the extra $65, Costco refunds you the difference. You can upgrade, watch it run for a full year, and lose nothing if it doesn't pan out. They also added a $10 monthly delivery credit for executive members, another $120 a year if you use it. Number 12. The Costco Visa, getting paid to spend what you'd spend anyway. The Costco Anywhere Visa has no annual fee of its own as long as your membership's active, and it pays real cash back. 5% on Costco gas, 3% on restaurants and travel, 2% on your Costco purchases, including your medications, and 1% everywhere else. The reward lands once a year as a certificate you spend right at the warehouse. Now the discipline, because this only works one direction. You pay it in full every single month, or the interest quietly erases every penny of reward, and then some. Used right by a couple who fuel up and shop there, it hands back over $100 a year for changing nothing about how you already live. My mother never carried a balance in her life. If you can't pay for it this month, she'd say, you can't afford it this month. Simple as that. Number 13, the gas, where a small number does heavy lifting. The Costco gas station typically runs somewhere between 15 and 35 cents a gallon under the corner station. You need a membership for the pumps, and the lines stack up at busy hours. So go early or midweek and skip the crowd. For a retired couple, couple driving an ordinary amount, 15 to 35 cents off every gallon, week after week, quietly hands back a couple $100 across the year, which very nearly covers a whole Gold Star membership before you've bought a single other thing. Little leaks sink the boat, my father used to say. This is a little leak running the right way, straight into your pocket, every fill-up. Number 14, the return policy, your insurance you never pay a premium on. Here's the famous one, and I want to give you the honest version, not the legend. On most of what Costco sells, the clothing, the housewares, the furniture, even a food you tried and didn't like, there's no time limit at all. Not satisfied? Carry it back, get your money, and they look it up by your membership, no paper receipt needed. That safety net is exactly what lets a careful person try the bigger bag or the new thing without fear of getting stuck with it. Now the real limits, because this is where rumors overpromise. Electronics and major appliances have a firm 90-day window, not forever. And in the last year, Costco started flagging accounts that abuse the policy, so treat it as a genuine safety net, not a free rental service. Used honest, it's the most valuable insurance you'll never pay for. Number 15, the one standing behind all the others, the membership guarantee itself. And here's the one that makes this whole list risk-free. If you join Costco and decide, for any reason at all, that it just wasn't worth it for the two of you, you cancel and get your entire membership fee back. Not prorated, not partial. The whole thing. That changes the question completely. The membership isn't a bet you're stuck with. It's a no-risk trial. So, if you've been standing at that counter wondering whether a warehouse club still makes sense now that it's just the two of you, the honest answer is you can find out for free. Join. Use even 3 things off this list: the pharmacy, the gas, the hearing center if you need it. And if it doesn't pay for itself, you walk right back out with your money in hand. So let me total it up the honest way, low side, for 2 retired people at 1 kitchen table. Move your regular medicines onto Costco's cash pharmacy. Hundreds saved. Switch your vitamins to Kirkland. Over 100 more. Lean on the gas, the batteries, the paper goods, the chicken, the 2% reward. You clear that $65 membership fee several times over every year before you've touched a single big-ticket item. And the year one of you finally deals with the hearing you've been ignoring, this one store saves you more than 20 years of membership fees in a single afternoon. But don't dawdle on the ones that are truly leaving: the sport drink, the roast beef, the cookies. Those aren't sales that come around again. When a warehouse this size kills a product, the shelf just goes empty one day and stays that way. So the rule is this: on the things that are disappearing, go this week. On the things that merely save you the most, every month you wait is money you're leaving on the table. And at our age, on our budgets, we don't leave money on tables. Now do one thing with this. Think of the couple you know doing the same math at their own table. The neighbors, the friends from church, the ones who just downsized into something smaller and quieter. Send this to them today, because 2 of these alone might cover a bill they've been dreading and were too proud to mention. And then tell me down below, you Costco regulars over 60, what's the best thing you ever walked out of that warehouse with? And name your town when you do, so we can build the map together, because these things come and go different depending on where you live. Next time, I'll show you the 5 things at Costco I'd walk right past, including one nearly everybody throws in the cart on habit that a 2-person household can't finish before it goes bad. But carry this out the door with you. Costco doesn't have a senior discount. It never has, and honestly, honestly, it doesn't need one. What it has instead is 15 quieter ways for two old folks to stretch $1, and the only thing standing between you and them is that nobody at that counter is ever going to bring them up. So you bring them up. That's the whole secret, and nobody can shrinkflate that. I'll see you next time.